Going for a walk on my own. I've not been on a walk on my own, I don't know how many years, well over 10 years. And why is that? Because a week last Monday I had to have Dougal put down, which was well, hard. They're not just pets, are they, dogs? They're companions, and then they become family. So I've never been down there on my own. I've always had one of the dogs with me. Well, as you know, if you've watched the other videos, a couple of years ago, I had to have Jaeger put down due to health reasons, cancer and whatnot. And then I got Dougal, which I had for just under 2 years, although he was an older dog. I was hoping to have a little bit longer with him. He did come with challenges. You know, he's a completely different dog to Jaeger. They're both shepherds, German shepherds. But Jaeger, you could take her anywhere off the lead and she was as good as gold. Dougal had aggression issues, not with people, although towards the end he was getting a bit snappy at some people, which I found unusual because it was out of character for him. But dogs, cats, well, any animal, even a bird in the garden, you know, he'd try and I don't think he would bite it. I think he would just completely destroy it. You know, he was bad. But you learn to live with things like that. I was never cross with him, never angry with him. I disciplined him, you know, maybe a snap on the lead to say no. But I had to watch. It's like coming out here, I couldn't take him off the lead, where Jaeger would run round these woods, and if she bumped into anybody, she was fine. But you couldn't do that with Dougal. He'd kill a dog. So you've got to be really responsible with a dog like that. But on the whole, he was a great companion. You know, like I say, they're not pets, they're companions, they become family. And it's harder to me, well, it is for me, it might not be for you, it's harder for me to say goodbye to a dog than it is a human. You know, I've not dropped a video for a long time. You think, well, when am I getting my next dog? I'm not. I'm not going to get another dog. You know, I'm in my 60s, and the only dogs I will have are German shepherds. I would have a Belgian Malamine. They're good dogs. But the thing is, having such a big dog, you've got to take them on long walks, and I'm getting too unstable on my feet, to be quite honest. So what's my next plan of attack? Well, I was going to pop up and see my family, which I've not seen over 10 years. Well, since my mum's funeral. And then I thought, no, I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered to see them. And I thought, oh, I'm going to renew my passport and go on holiday. I haven't been abroad for about 12 years, I think. Because I won't leave my dogs. I won't put them in kennels and stuff like that. Jaeger, I could have left Jaeger with anybody, and she would have missed me, but so many people loved her in the village. She wouldn't have missed me for long. But you couldn't leave Dougal. I wouldn't trust him with anyone. So I decided to go on holiday, and then I was looking at where I'm going to go, how flat it is, because like I say, I'm not too good on my pins anymore. And I thought, I'm going to do some holiday reviews. So I'm not just going to go once, I'm going to go several times this year. I plan on going in June, July, September and November, all being a fortnight each. I don't see the point of getting on a plane and just doing a week. You know, you say you have 7 nights, well, you normally get there at night, so there's one day gone. And then on the last day you're turfed out of bed early and you've got to hit the street. So you're really down to sort of like 5 days to completely relax. So yeah, my first holiday should be in Gran Canaria. Probably Puerto Rico. And then what I'll do is I'll do a review on the accommodation. And the reason I'm going to do that is because when you go onto these sites on these holiday packages, people read the reviews. A lot of them are quite bad, but then you get other people saying how brilliant it was, but they don't show any proof on how bad it was. You know, I've been to the Canary Islands many a times. When you go on a budget holiday, you know, I was paying something like £380, this going back 12 years ago, £380 all in. Not all inclusive, but I make my flights, my transfers, my insurance and the hotel. And people back in them used to moan. And you think, what you moan at? You know, the hotel's probably getting about 40-50 quid of this, and you're complaining. You know, what are you doing? Are you staying in the hotel all day? You know, I go out in the morning, I might go back in the afternoon or about midday when it's really, really hot, sit by the pool, and I can make myself a cup of tea whenever I want, because it's self-catering, jump in the pool, and then in the evening go out again. I'm also going to do a review on solo travelling, the pros and cons of being on your own. Although, to be quite honest, I can't find any cons. And people go, well, won't you get lonely? Nah, not at all, mate. You know, I may have had just a dog in my life, and a dog's a great companion, but no, I wouldn't get lonely. Not at all. I love these woods. My dogs love these woods, especially Jaeger. She'd live here, she would. Going down the big hill. If I go down the big hill, I won't be able to get back up it. That's what I mean, my pins. Well, it's not my pins, it's my back. But yeah, it is what it is, you know. Yeah, people complaining about how grubby they are, but all the ones I've been in, although they've been budget, and yeah, they're not in the best condition, but they're secure. I've never had anything stolen. You get what you pay for. It's a bit like buying a car, innit? You can't buy a second-hand Mini expecting to turn up and find a Rolls Royce there. So for those that are moaning about these cheap holidays, you know, save up a bit more and go somewhere a bit more expensive, and then you'll find something else to fucking complain about, won't you? But I don't care. I don't care if I flew over there and just pitched a tent up. Wouldn't bother me. You know, the one I'm looking at now for the 4th of July, 14 nights, is 680 something quid, and then you've got 200 quid parking at the airport, so 800, like just over 800 quid. Well, that's £400 a week. You know, how much does the hotel have? In fact, the holiday itself is 600 and something, so it's like £300 a week. Let's say 320. You got to take the flights out of that, your insurance, transfer fees. How much do these holiday places make? Not a great deal. Lot of people always moan about the accommodation. Yeah, they are. Some of them are run down. They are looking back into the 70s, and I don't care. I just switch the light off and go to sleep. You know, one woman said, "Oh, I found a cockroach." Really? Not surprised. It is Spain. No hot weather. You get cockroaches. That's like somebody coming into fucking England and going, "Oh, look, there's a fly." Get over it. You know, fucking complaint after complaint after complaint. For what? All you're doing is spoiling your own holiday. It's like falling over. Pick yourself up, brush yourself off, and carry on. You know, if you don't like the Canary Islands, go somewhere else. That's all I've got to say on the matter. God, I'm out of breath, you see. Now, you might say, hang on a minute, you're out of breath and you're going to Portaventura. It's all uphill. No. I've picked one, it's like a chalet. That's on the bottom of the hills. And then I can walk through the gardens, past McDonald's, into the shopping arcade. Or at night it's where you get the drinks and food and etc. All the bars are there. Behind me, if I come out of my chalet, that's if I make it there. Yeah, if I come out of the chalet behind me, I'm straight onto the beach. Then what I'm going to do next time, because that'd be Gran Canaria, is I'm going to Portaventura. Do 2 weeks there. And then when I come back and go back again, I'm going to go to Tenerife. That'll be that year over and done with. Then next year I'll probably do something like Bahamas or something. I don't know. Well, you'll have to subscribe and find out. So, for now I'm signing off. And probably my next video, which will probably be, I don't know, 6-8 weeks, you'll see where I went.